Alright, I'm back. I'm making another video. I just looked at my old videos. I'm like, I just want to make another one. I haven't made one in like a year and a half. I'm looking at my old ones. I made one about Jones defending or vacating in December of 2023. And he still hasn't defended against the interim champ, and he still has the belt. So that's crazy. But yeah, I just want to make a prediction video in honor of me. You're not going to believe me, but I went 13 for 13 last week. I got every fight right on 316. So I need to make a prediction video so that if I go for 13 for 13 again, or perfect, I need to document it so that people actually believe me. But yeah, we got Buckley and Usman this week in State Farm Arena in Atlanta. So just a fight night. One of those, not in the Apex though, which is cool. So we'll have a crowd, cool crowd reactions and stuff. And they're fun. Yeah, they're fun. Actually, it's like at the place that the Hawks play. I went to the one in Kansas City where it was Gary and Prates, and it was good. It was good. It was in like a concert venue. But it was a lot of fun. And yeah, they need to get out of the Apex more. But I guess that's a different video. Anyways, okay, let's just start. Jamie Lynn Horth versus Vanessa Demopoulos. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Jamie Lynn Horth. Vanessa Demopoulos should not be in the UFC. And her record is terrible. Even though like her record is terrible, and she's had a lot of robberies too. So like if you actually look at her past fights, she really hasn't even won most of them. Most of those wins should have been losses, and they were robberies. But she's lost her last two, and she's just not really good anywhere. I mean, she's decent on the feet. She can't really take anybody down. I don't know how she wins this fight. And she's at a 7-inch reach disadvantage. I think she'll just get outstruck. I'm picking Horth 30-27. Okay. Angelusa versus Phil Rowe. So I just watched Phil Rowe. I think it was a couple days ago. He had a grappling match with Gordon Ryan. Or not Gordon Ryan, Craig Jones. And Craig Jones is, obviously like one of the best in the world, and Rowe got absolutely destroyed. But I watched Rowe's last fight against Matthews. He looked terrible. He looked terrible. And his last fight before that was all the way in 2023. So, like, the only thing we really have on him from the past 2 years is that fight against Matthews. It was Islam Poirier. He hasn't fought in a long time, and that was really bad. Like really, really, really bad. He didn't do anything. And Matthews isn't even that good. He's solid, but yeah, Rowe is just, if that's the level he's going to be at, I can't pick him to beat Lusa, who actually had a decent performance against Bonfim. I remember he won one round. I think I had it like 2-1 Bonfim. And Bonfim clearly won, but it was close. And that's the guy who's like, he got knocked out by Dalby, but he's won all of his fights. Besides that, he's very good. Lusa actually took Bonfim down, so I'm gonna just take Lusa, betting on probably just a wrestling clinic. Maybe he'll jump a triangle like Craig Jones. That's how Jones submitted him in the match. But I'm gonna go Lusa here, probably just by like 29-28 or 30-27. Gets a few takedowns. That's like, it's kind of close on the feet. Lusa's better though, and then he also gets some takedowns to just solidify these rounds. 29-28 or 30-27. I'll go 29-28, Lusa. Okay. And then we got Simone versus Smotherman. Yeah, this is supposed to be Simone versus, he was supposed to fight Charles Jourdain, and then Jourdain pulled out. Now it's this guy Smotherman, who's only in the UFC because they needed him on short notice against Jake Hadley. He was a huge underdog. He won a unanimous decision. Pretty clearly, too. And then I was like, okay. And then I watched his last fight against City. It was the Sandhagen versus Figueiredo card, I think. Yeah. And he just... And against Hadley, he won, but he doesn't throw a lot. He's kind of always on the back foot. Like, he's not going to really put pressure on his opponents. He's going to... I don't know. He's not hungry. Like, you look at the last fight, I could talk about that, too. You know, I could talk about that. How... it just seems like Lusa is hungry and Rowe isn't. I could say the same thing about Simone and Simone and Smotherman. Simone's actually going to go after it. Like, Simone's actually going to go for the finish, and I can't pick. I can't pick Smotherman to beat Simone here. I picked Simone in his last fight against Basharat. And, yeah, that was crazy. Crazy knockout. So I'm going to go Simone. I think Simone could find a finish here, but probably 30-27. Probably 30-27 Simone. And the reason I said 29-28 Lusa, I think Rowe maybe could just slightly outstrike him one of the rounds on the feet. Maybe like the third round, Lusa slows down and Rowe gets maybe just like outpoints him a little bit, but it's going to be a clear Lusa win, clear Simone win, clear Demopoulos win. These are just three clear decisions for me to start it off. Yeah. And, yeah, let's move on. So, Durden versus Ochoa. I didn't watch Ochoa's only fight in the UFC because it was so early. It was that one, Jan and Figueiredo, was it? Yeah. But I saw he lost. But he was undefeated before that. All finishes. Then he lost pretty clearly to a guy, Kavanaugh, good prospect, who also won his most recent fight. But guy Kavanaugh's good, but he's not future champ at all. He's pretty mid tier when it comes to the UFC, in my opinion. So Ochoa losing that fight pretty clearly. I think it was like 30-27 or something. Yeah, it was. Well, okay. 30-20, 30-27, 29-28, 29. So, yeah, but if you're going to lose to Kavanaugh, I don't think you're going to beat Cody Durden. I know Durden's been getting destroyed, and there's a big age gap. Durden's 10 years older. But if you're going to lose to Kavanaugh right now, I can't pick you to beat Cody Durden because say what you will about Durden. I don't know anybody's like talking shit about Durden, but he's actually good. He's actually really good. He was just ranked before he fought. He might still be ranked, actually. He's active. Like, I'm gonna see if he's ranked, but he just fought Joshua Van, and like the guys, if you know the records, they don't look. There's like a huge discrepancy in the records, but if you look at like his actual level of competition, and he beat Charles Johnson, he beat Jake Hadley. That's a pretty good win too. I remember that fight. The guys he's losing to: Joshua Van, Tagir Lumbekov, Bruno Silva, and he beat Matt Schnell. Yeah, he's. I don't think this guy Ochoa is like. I think it's too big of a jump for Ochoa to beat him. I don't think Ochoa is good enough right now. And Durden is still young enough he can get it done. I'm going to pick Durden by... I think Durden finds a submission. I think Durden takes him down. That's how I think he wins. I think maybe Ochoa's a little better on the feet, but Durden's just going to get him down. He's a little sloppy on the feet, but... I think Durden could beat him on the feet just by pressure, but I think he'll take him down and it'll just be a clinic. I think he'll find a submission. Malcolm Wellmaker versus Chris Moutinho. I'm going to roll with Malcolm Wellmaker. I saw him live. Like I said, I went to the Kansas City card. I saw him get that knockout against Cameron Simon. in that fight, and he was like, I mean, he just hits so hard. He sent him flying. He knocked out a guy in the Contender Series. I know Moutinho's back, bro. It's the guy that went viral. Like, when your one viral moment is like the ref having to stop a fight because you literally are not throwing any punches. Because you're just not good enough. Like, that's the craziest thing about that fight is his chin held up. He has the best chin ever, somehow. But it held up against O'Malley. Like, he was never really... He never went down, I don't think. But the fight got stopped because he wasn't good enough. Like, he literally wasn't good enough to slip the punches or block them. And he was getting hit so frequently that the ref just stopped it. I mean, I haven't seen that. I've only seen fights stop because the guy's really badly hurt. It was a complete mismatch. Moutinho, and then people are talking about, oh, he got 5 finishes. Yeah, but who's he fighting? I don't know. The guy who Wellmaker just finished, Simon, is good. I know he got destroyed by Talbot, but Simon is actually really good. I mean, yeah, Simon is good, man. And, I mean, Wellmaker's easily going to knock Moutinho out in the first round. I know I said he has a good chin, and he did against O'Malley, but O'Malley softened him up. I think Wellmaker gets him out of there, first or second round knockout. Either way, Wellmaker wins this fight with ease. Yeah. If it somehow goes the distance, it'll be a complete schooling, and it'll be, like 30-25. But, like, give me Wellmaker by first or second round knockout. First round knockout. And then Durden, I guess I'll give the round. Like, Durden, third and second round submission. Wellmaker, first round knockout. Okay. Moving on, Chiesa I picked against him in his last fight. I don't know why I picked Max Griffin. Max Griffin doesn't throw any strikes in his fights. I don't know why I somehow picked him to win. It's 2 old heads. Chiesa versus Court McGee. Court McGee got a guillotine, I think, his last fight. But he lost to Alex Morono, which is just... If you're losing to Alex Morono, I can't pick you to win. Sorry. I cannot pick you to win if you're losing to Morono, man. And Morono, like... Yeah. He's just terrible. I know MMA math. It's about matchups, whatever. I just don't think McGee's old. Chiesa can stay out of a guillotine. Chiesa's very good, and I doubted him in his last fight against Griffin, but he got a submission. Submitted Ferguson. I picked Tony. I was rooting for Tony. I didn't actually take my pick seriously back then. I was just kind of... It was just one of those picks, like, you're kind of picking him because you just want him to win. But got Tony out of there in the first round. And the guys who Chiesa's lost to are the best of the best. Like, he's losing to Prime Pettis, Prime Lee, Kevin Lee, Prime Luque, Sean Brady, Kevin Holland. Like, those are his losses. That's it. And Jorge Masvidal, Joe Lauzon, whatever. Corey McGee's not going to beat Michael Chiesa. It's just not happening. And I know he got a guillotine his last fight, so he knows jiu-jitsu to some extent. But he hasn't had a submission since... Let me see. Corey McGee's last submission before that was 2010. Great. So he's had one submission since 2010. So not the best jiu-jitsu practitioner that there is out there. I think Chiesa just takes him down and submits him in the first round. I can't see anything other than that happening. So yeah, Chiesa first round's up. We got another interesting one. This was supposed to be the co-main of what was that card? I think it was Morales and Burns. so not too long ago. And then Bellato pulled out because of herpes. I read he pulled out because he had herpes and he didn't want to. Yeah. Bellato, I picked him to beat Jimmy Crute, and then he got 10-8'd in the first round. But he survived and then won the next two. So, yeah, rare draw. But before that, he beat Potieria, and I don't know the other guy he beat. Talha, I don't know who that is, but Potieria is not that good either. Solid. I don't think Bellato is crazy good, but he's 29. Craig's 37. I mean, Craig, that Bo Nickel fight is aging horribly. I mean, the last Nickel fight makes you realize that Paul Craig just should have beaten Bo Nickel, and I don't know how he didn't. I don't think he even threw a punch, let alone landed one. But I just can't. I know. So Craig's going. Is it back down at middleweight? Because I know he tried to go to heavyweight, and then or light heavyweight. I don't know. He tried to go to middleweight. It didn't work, and now he's back at light heavyweight. Paul Craig is just the weirdest fighter ever. I mean, he beat Ankalaev. He beat Jamal Hill. But he lost to Jimmy Crute. He lost to Menafield and Johnny Walker. He beat Krylov. He's only fought the best of the best, though. You got to be honest about Paul Craig. He's only fighting the best of the best if you look at his names. But Bellato's just better than him. He's younger. He's faster, like on the feet. I don't think Craig doesn't have the best takedowns. If Bellato took it to the ground, I think it would be a mistake because he can get caught in a submission. I don't think he's dumb enough to do that, though. Unless he'll take it to the ground if he has him hurt. I don't think he'll try to like out wrestle him to a win. I think he'll just outbox him, easily outbox him. Like if Bo Nickel can outbox you, then anybody can pretty much. And Bellato's going to get it done. And, Craig's chin has been cracked many times. I think Bellato will get it. He has enough power to do it, especially being back up at light heavyweight. They hit harder. Up there. I'm going to go Bellato probably by first round KO. Yeah. All right, moving on to the main card now. Umar Sy, I think his name is. Yeah, Umar Sy versus Alonzo Menafield. Alonzo Menafield, gosh, his last fight was a stinker. I think this guy's still ranked too. I think he was ranked, so he must still be ranked. He's ranked 15th, so trying to get Sy in the rankings is the perfect opponent to do it. Menafield, again, this is another one with a huge age gap. I feel like there's been a lot of those on this card. Menafield's 8 years older, 37. Sy's 29. And yeah, the only time I picked the older guy was Durden. Just 'cause sometimes the guy's too young. I think Ochoa's 24, too young. And Durden is 34, which is kind of at the tail end of your prime on average. But when 34 versus 24 is a lot different than 37 versus 29 or 38 versus 28 or something, because you hit your prime about 32, what they say. And look, Menafield, maybe he's had a few good wins to get him ranked in the past. I mean, he beat Justin Jacoby, but besides that, he beat Askar Mazarov, that fraud. The guy who had the fake record and got in the UFC. He beat that guy. Yeah, that was the guy who he fought. Interesting, but I'm gonna go with Sy. I think Menafield maybe could have beat him if he was a lot younger, but his last fight he just looked slow. Very slow. And it was a weird fight. He should have won easily because the guy he was fighting wasn't really that good, but he was just gosh, that fight was in like slow motion the last round and a half. It was pathetic. So Size put a pace on a guy. This last fight he went the distance and just put a pace on him, destroyed him, leg kicks. His first fight got a submission with ease. And he's not going to lose to Menafield. It's just not happening. He's going to beat Menafield very easily. I don't know how, though. I mean, he could really do it any way he wants to. Might be hard to take a guy like Menafield down. He's very dense. Maybe like a standing guillotine. No, it's going to be tough to submit Menafield. You know, But Menafield, it just seems like he's slowed down so much. If this goes to the later rounds, I don't even see Menafield surviving, though. I think Sai will knock him out. I'm going to go Sai. Second round TKO. Okay, let's move on. Another one, I'm looking at the odds here. I mean, yeah, Sai's a huge favorite. This guy's also a huge favorite. Abdul Malik's a huge favorite, but for good reason. I'm gonna roll with Malik. He's got an 8-inch reach advantage. And he got cracked. His last fight, he was a huge favorite. And I didn't really... I thought it would have been closer than what the odds said, even though his opponent was short notice. He was a minus 1,300 favorite. And he lost the first round. He got taken down and controlled for 3 minutes. I think it was a spinning back elbow cracked him. And he got wobbled. And then his opponent took him down. He should have just followed up on the feet. If he did, he could have knocked him out. Look, I think a lot of people get overvalued. I'm not overvaluing Sai because he's undefeated. I actually think Sai is good. But I think Abdul Malik is a little overvalued just because he's undefeated. I remember this happened a couple months ago with Danny Barlow fought Sam Patterson, and he was a big favorite in that one because he's undefeated, and when you're undefeated and no one's found the way to beat you yet. No one's found a way to beat you yet. You have a lot more. The odds are just going to be in your favor from like a sportsbook's perspective because no one's found a way to beat you. And I don't think Brundage is the guy who's going to find a way to beat Abdul Malik. Abdul Malik's too good to lose to Brundage. Abdul Malik is not like... I mean, his last fight really made me realize he might not be a future champ necessarily, but he's finished every fight in the first or second round. And he's going to knock out Cody Brundage. He just is. There's no way that Brundage wins this fight. It's not happening. He's got decent wrestling. I don't think he can take Malik down. I think the guy who Malik fought last time, Klein, is a better wrestler than Brundage. Brundage's last fight was really weird. I'm like watching that, like, what is even going on? Because he got wobbled, and then he came back and won that fight, and it was very entertaining. It was cool. But when you look at Brundage's record, he's just losing. He got knocked out by Hassan, and they called it a no contest because of back of the head shots today. That's fine. Bo Nickel destroyed him. And again, Bo Nickel's fights are just not aging well, you know. He got a slam, like he was going to lose to Zach Reese, and he got a slam KO. Okay. Malkoun was beating his ass. Malkoun, I think, kneed him in the head. It was a disqualification. So, like, DQ is not a real win. Zach Reese was a fluke. He knocked out Gore, but Gore's record is terrible. I don't know who he's actually beating besides his last fight, Marquez. But Marquez got knocked out 4 times in a row, man. Like, who is he beat? I don't know who he's beating, man. Like, he's not beating Malik. I don't know why Brundage versus... I don't know why Brundage was the co-main event with Marquez. I think it was because their chins are both so bad that they knew someone was getting knocked out, so they're just like, we'll put you in the co-main because it'll be someone's getting knocked out, so whoever's tuning in will be entertained. But Brundage is really bad. He's really bad. I made a video a while back about UFC 300, and I was very disappointed to see Brundage on the main card. It ended up being a very good card, but it was just bad placement. The card was very good. That was just bad placement because they should not have put Brundage on the main card because they had like Figueiredo versus Garbrandt as the first fight on the card, so they should not have done that. But anyways, Abdul Malik first round knockout. Abdul Malik will lose eventually, probably against a very good wrestler. At middleweight, he might get ranked first. He's too long. Can't knock him out. Brundage can't do that. Brundage can't take him down. Malik will destroy him. First round knockout for Malik. Okay, let's move on. Garbrandt and Barcelos. Yeah, it's interesting seeing Barcelos in the spot because it looked like his career was over. And it looked like they wanted to get rid of him. Just let Peyton Talbot knock him out, and then we'll let him go. You won't see him again. But the crafty vet got it done. Very crafty performance, 30-26 from Barcelos. I mean, but like I said earlier, MMA math does not work. Styles make fights. Peyton Talbot's a lot different than Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt's takedown defense is a lot better than Talbot. And you're all like, Garbrandt's... I was thinking Garbrandt's old, but he's only 33. He just must have won the belt when he was very young. He won the belt in 2016, so he was like 20... He was like 25? No, he was like 24. I'm going to go with Garbrandt to get this one done. He's got the weird knife tattoo through his eye now. Yeah, Garbrandt's kind of a weird guy, but he's fighting beasts. He's only losing to the best of the best, man. And like his only losses are to very good opponents. Barcelos beat Talbot, I know. I know Barcelos beat Talbot. I watched it, and I picked Barcelos to win, actually. Because I saw Talbot in his first fight against this guy named Aguirre. And this is another thing I'm saying. Undefeated fighters are extremely overrated. They get extremely inflated. Their odds get inflated because they're undefeated. And Nick Aguirre, yeah, that's his name, took him down and controlled him in the first round, almost submitted him. Almost had him in a rear naked choke. And I was like... And then Talbot beat Simon because Simon can't take him down. It's like styles make fights, absolutely. And this, stylistically, Barcelos could beat Talbot. Barcelos is a good wrestler, good grappler, good jiu-jitsu. And on the feet, he was hitting Talbot with stuff, but it was only because I think Talbot was just tired after getting taken down so many times. And he lost his fundamentals. Barcelos versus Garbrandt, striking. It's not even close. And Garbrandt gets a lot of hate for his chin, but his chin is not like... He's only been knocked out once since 2019. But they talk about him having the worst chin in UFC history. I think Dillashaw was just on the sauce, and that's why he got knocked out, you know. But Garbrandt's chin will hold up against Barcelos. Barcelos is not that powerful. Barcelos can't take him down, I don't think. Maybe once or twice, but he'll get up. I think it's a great fight for Garbrandt to bounce back. And I'm saying bounce back like he hasn't won his... Oh, yeah, he lost to Figueiredo. That was his last fight. He hasn't fought in a long time, but... I say bounce back. Like, Garbrandt's career is not over. And when he knocked out... I picked him to beat Kelleher, and, yeah, he knocked him out in the first round. I picked him to beat Figueiredo, and he was beating him up in the first round. But Figueiredo's wrestling so much better than Barcelos. I'm gonna go with Garbrandt to beat him. Yeah. And I'm gonna go... He might knock him down. I don't know if he'll knock him out, because again, Barcelos is a tough, crafty vet. But I don't think Barcelos could take him down, and Garbrandt's better on the feet. Yeah. So I'm going to go Garbrandt 29-28. Like I said, maybe he gets taken down once or twice, but he'll get up. Maybe they give Barcelos a round because of a takedown. And on the feet, Garbrandt's a lot better, and I don't think he'll get knocked out. Barcelos is good, but he's not knocking it. Like, this is a good style fight for Garbrandt. I mean, he hasn't knocked anybody out since 2019. Also the age, he's 38. Garbrandt's 33. I can't pick Barcelos to knock him out. I'm going to pick Garbrandt 29-28. Yeah, maybe he gets a knockdown. It'd be cool if he knocked him out. That would be cool. But I'm going to go 29-28 Garbrandt. Yeah. Petroski and Shabazian. All right. Shabazian by first round knockout. And I like Petroski a lot. Petroski's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC. Petroski can beat up on the low-level competition in the UFC. When Petroski is fighting a low-level guy, a guy making his debut, an entry-level guy, a guy's not that good, he's going to take him down, control him, beat him up 30-27. That's what Petroski does. He's a great wrestler with decent striking. But if you could stuff his takedowns and you're better than decent at striking, you'll beat him. And he's chinny. So actually, all of his losses are by finish. He's never lost by decision before, which is good. But he went to a split decision with Gerald Meerschaert. And if you're going to a split decision with Gerald Meerschaert, I mean, that's just sad. I'm sorry, man, but that can't be happening. And I'm saying that like Meerschaert didn't beat Shabazian. He did. But MMA math doesn't work. Stylistically, Petroski will try to take him down, and it was weird. I picked Petroski to win his last fight, and he won, and he was a decent sized underdog in that fight, and he won, but he didn't even shoot a takedown. It was like on the feet, very close. I think he won pretty clearly. But he got taken down, and I wasn't impressed by his wrestling at all. He stuffed all the takedowns that the guy threw at him, and the guy was like a good... They're talking about the guy being a great grappler. I don't even know who he was. Maybe he was a great grappler. Petroski's a great wrestler, like I said. But he couldn't take the last guy down. He didn't even try. That's the weird thing. I think if he tried, he could have taken him down. He only shot 2 takedowns, and it was really close on the feet, and if he took him down a couple times, it would have been such a clearer win for him. But it was like suspicious why he didn't do that, and I was like, I've talked about it earlier, hunger, and I didn't see that hunger out of Petroski his last fight. I saw it. I've seen it before out of like when he beat Fremd and Budka. Like he's a beast. He's hungry. He's taking you down. You watch his not contender series. What's the thing called? The Ultimate Fighter against Brian Battle. Great fight. He got guillotined, but Battle's good. We know that. Although Battle is very overrated, he's good. And Petroski lost to him. Petroski's not beating the top guys. I'm sorry. He's just not. Who's he beat? I don't know. He got knocked out 3 times in his career. He's chinny, like I said. If he can't take you down, you could chin him. I don't think he'll be able to take Shabazian down that easily. He didn't even try his last fight. But perhaps that's because he just thought he could win on the feet, and he did. But, I think I'm going to go with Shabazian. I think Petroski maybe takes him down. But Shabazian, has good takedown defense. Yeah, he lost to Mearshart. That was a weird one. I think he gassed out. But, like, you look at a guy like Anthony Hernandez, who is so much better of a wrestler than Petroski. Going 6 for 15 on takedowns on Shabazian, and Shabazian even took Hernandez down. Hernandez only controlled him 7 minutes, so like 1 minute per takedown, which is not crazy. So Shabazian can be taken down. He can't be held down that bad. And so you look at Petroski. I think Petroski can maybe take him down. Won't hold him down for that long. He'll get up. He'll outstrike him, and he'll find a KO like he did in his last fight. And the last fight was a similar style to Petroski, a lot worse, but a similar style. Shabazian, people talk about Shabazian as if his career is over and, like, he's been fraud checked in his life. Like, he used to be good and now he fell off. Like, Shabazian's the kind of guy I could see it being like a Charles Oliveira. Like, early in his career, he's seen as a quitter and he's just not winning a lot. And then he turns it around and ends up being a champ. I could really see that. And this is the one that's going to kind of catapult him into that, getting back in the rankings conversation. I don't even know if he ever was ranked, but he's good, man. He's going to beat Petroski. And I hate to say that because, again, I like Petroski. But I think I'll knock him out in the first round. Petroski got knocked out going for a takedown on someone's hip. Watch that if you haven't. It's pretty bizarre. I can't pick Petroski to win unless the guy is just not a good striker or he's not a good grappler. If you're well-rounded like Shabazian is, I think he'll beat Petroski by KO. I'm going to go 5 minutes per round. I think he'll find it in under 5 minutes. Shabazian first round knockout. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the second, gets a knockout there. I think I'll knock him out in the first or second round, but I'll say first round KO for Shabazian. Yeah. Okay. Co-main event, Rose Namajunas versus Miranda Maverick. Rose Namajunas. It's the only women's fight. No, there's another one. Rose Namajunas. Miranda Maverick, who's she beating? I don't know. She's losing to the best. She's beating the worst. She's mediocre. She's getting a co-main off of beating Jamie Lynn Horth, who's opening this card up, and who's good enough to beat Demopoulos, but she was a plus 600 on, like, Maverick was minus 1,000, and she won 29-28. Like, she barely won. It was a very close fight. Now she's the co-main event against Rose Namajunas. And Rose Namajunas really upset me in her last fight. I picked her to win against Blanchfield, and she won the first 2 rounds. And then she got reverse swept. She got shut down, taken down with ease. This only being a 3-round fight, she'll win. Like, Rose, a 3-round fight with Rose, you got to be a really good striker. You got to be, like, elite. Rose is the kind of person you can win a round late. You can win a couple rounds late like Blanchfield did. If it's a 5-round fight, Cortez won the 5th round against her, I remember that. Blanchfield won the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, but you're not winning the early rounds with Rose. Especially Miranda Maverick. I'm not talking about Blanchfield and Cortez. I'm talking about Miranda Maverick here. I don't think Rose will get the finish. It's a women's fight, but it's flyweight, but I think it's just a Rose 30-27 schooling. I don't see it going any other way. I think Maverick will try to take her down, but again, she's hard. It's hard to win rounds on her. It's hard to get to her early, and unless you're like the best of the best, you know, and Rose will get it done. I think 29-28 or 30-27 with ease. Yeah, probably 30-27. 30-27 Rose with ease. That's my pick. Now it's the main event. All right. Buckley. I've been watching his last few fights. I've been tuning into you, Buckley. And you're very impressive at welterweight. I mean, I don't know what happened in that Luque fight. That was a weird one. He had a weird run in middleweight. He was too small for middleweight, though. Too short. He's 5'10". Dropped down to welterweight. He's undefeated. Another fight with a huge age discrepancy. Huge. Like 38 versus 31. If this is prime Usman versus prime Buckley, I'm picking Usman all day. But Usman hasn't fought in 2 years. He hasn't won in 4 years. And who's he beat? Colby, Masvidal. Let's be honest, Usman's title run is overrated. Very overrated. He beat Masvidal twice and Covington twice. So what? All I'm saying is Usman shouldn't be anywhere near the GOAT conversation. I mean, those wins aren't good for title wins. So I think Usman in general, his win streak is overrated. That title run. And then he lost to Evers the first time was a fluke. The second time, lost 4 out of 5 rounds. And couldn't even win with a point deduction. Hamzat ragdolled him in the first round. Almost submitted him, got shooken off, but Usman's a great grappler. Beat him in the next 2 because Hamzat kind of gassed out. But Buckley, so he drew with Hamzat. That was 2 years ago. And Hamzat's known for not having a good gas tank. Buckley's not going to tire. It's a 5-round fight. Has Buckley ever had a 5-round fight? No, he hasn't. But I'm not concerned about that cardio. He knocked Colby and Wonderboy out in the 3rd round. It wasn't a knockout for Colby. It was a doctor stoppage. That cut happened in the 1st, and he just kept working on it. It was a nasty cut. Sometimes doctor stoppages are like fluke wins, but this is not a fluke. Without that cut, he was destroying Colby. And he still would have won that fight if the cut didn't happen. Maybe he lost like 1 round out of the 3 because Colby took him down. And I was thinking about, can Usman take Buckley down? Because Colby took him down and held him down for like 3 minutes. I think Usman could take him down once or twice and hold him there for a couple minutes. But that's it. And in a 25-minute fight, that's not enough. On the feet, Usman's good jab. Buckley's very, very relies on a lot of motion. He moves very well. He's like the opposite of Patchy Mix. And he gets to you. Like, he got to Wonderboy. And I was watching that fight with Stephen Thompson, and I picked Buckley. I was watching it, and I was like, damn. You know, Wonderboy won the first 2 rounds against Buckley. So don't forget that. But Buckley knew he needed a KO, and he found it. He found his chin. And he put him out cold. I mean, he backed him up against the fence and put him out cold. And Buckley beat Ruziboyev, and Ruziboyev was very good. Buckley, that was a 170 though, but he beat Luque. He beat Colby. And I don't want to hear that. That was a fluke. It was not. Usman's good. But right now, Buckley's better. And for me, it's an age thing. Buckley slips. Will slip that jab. Get to Usman. Knock him out. Yeah. Buckley will find Usman's trying to knock him out cold. I think probably second or third round. Like Buckley, I'm not worried about the cardio. Even if it goes to the fourth or fifth round, I think Buckley will still be coming forward. And Usman's used to the 5-round pace. I'm not worried. Like Usman's cardio won't be bad at all. Usman will be able to go 5. But even in the 5th round, I think Buckley even has the cardio advantage. Even though Usman has a lot more experience in that, I think Buckley has the advantage there. And I think, from a straight cardio perspective, Buckley has that advantage over him. And that's also an age thing. And I'm going to just say Buckley knocks him out before we even get there, though. Maybe Usman wins a round because he takes him down and slightly outstrikes him on the feet. Maybe. But he's not winning 3 out of 5 rounds against Buckley. So he can only finish him, but you're not going to submit Buckley. I don't think he's going to submit Buckley. Usman's not like a submission guy. Usman will pop you with a jab and maybe drop you, maybe like hit you with a... And yeah, Buckley's been knocked out before, but it's an age thing. Usman maybe wins 1 round out of 5. They don't hit as hard. When Buckley was getting knocked out, that was a middleweight. You know? This is a welter. And no one's been able to hurt him there. Buckley will knock Usman out in the second round. I think this is Usman's last fight. I don't mind Usman. I think Usman's cool. I think Usman's cool, man. But Usman's also looking past Buckley. He's saying, I want to fight. Who's he saying he wants to fight? He's saying, I want to fight Islam. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Usman's saying he wants to fight Islam. Don't look past him, man. You know who was looking past his opponent last week? Patchy. Look what happened. Don't look past your opponent. Buckley, 2nd round KO. Knocks him out cold. Backs him up against the fence. Knocks him out cold. Usman retires. Because Usman doesn't want to fight if it's not for titles. Yeah, that'll probably be it for him. Yeah. That's it. Those are all my predictions. And yeah, Rose 30-27. Buckley 2nd round KO. Yeah, those are all my picks. Thanks for watching. Maybe I'll go 13 for 13 again. We'll see. Let's do it. But yeah, thanks for watching.